Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, I want to discuss something really important. It is an important Linux administration slash cybersecurity slash general IT thing that you should know. So SSH stands for Secure Shell. It is a secure transport mechanism, so people can log in from one Linux machine to another. So if I wanted to get from point A to point B, I would use SSH. It runs on port 22 unless for some reason it's configured differently, but by default it's port 22. So let's just go ahead and check out what this guy's IP address is. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy it and we're going to log into it. This is my user ID, same format we just discussed. It's going to prompt me for a password. I would enter my password and I would log in, right? So that's what I would do. But if I don't want to enter in a password every single time, I would end up generating a key pair. So SSH keys really a good concept because it's all based on asymmetric encryption, which is the same thing as SSL certificates, and it's just a very important concept, just like TCP over IP. Something that you should just know, as well as the OSI model. That's another thing that you should just know, as well as probably, a good standard 50 ports off the top of your head. I don't know, but there's a lot of things that are just general knowledge, and this is one of those things. So SSH keys is used for convenience, but it's also more secure. And the way that it works is you will end up generating, by just typing this command, a public and a private key pair. We're going to store it on our machine. We're not going to have a password because that defeats the purpose for this context. We just want to be convenient. And this is very practical, right? I use this on my job. I don't type in a password every time I log in from one machine to another. Instead, I just log in without being prompted for anything because my key, my public key, is already stored on that remote host. So let's go ahead and change directories. Now this is your public one. This is the one you will want to copy over to the other machine. And it says it's not a directory because it's not. Let's get to the directory and then let's use my Vim text editor to open it and copy it. Escape, Shift G, Shift $, Escape I, right arrow. I'm not kidding. See, that's just for this text editor. So Vim is kind of difficult. Just getting into the text editor and moving around isn't like a notepad on Windows. So you probably want to start with Nano and don't try to memorize that little command thing that I just said. But you need to get familiar with some kind of text editor if you are brand new. But back to this, we're just going to copy this, go over here, we do an ls. Now, if you notice, I'm actually already in my .ssh directory, and in there, we will go under authorized keys. If I do tab complete, it just does it for me, so I don't have to type it out. Escape I, if you're interested in any Vim commands, but I'm just going to paste it in there just like that. Clear. Now, get out of here. Hopefully, hopefully I get out of here. So this is the one that we generated the key on. Let's go ahead and get that IP again. I forgot it. And let's run that same command and see what happens. Now we shouldn't be prompted for a password. As you can see, that IP address should match, and it does. So we are now on the new machine, just like that. If I hit exit, I'm on the other machine. If config, I'm on a different IP altogether. So that is how SSH works and why it's used. So A, for convenience, B, it's more secure. The public key is copied over here to the remote host. What happens is it looks in its authorized key file, that file that we edited. It checks and it says, "Oh, I see this public key. I recognize it." And what it does is it generates this is what's going on in the background. So get out of here. It takes that string, it generates a string, and it encrypts that public key, sends it back to me, and then it decrypts my private key with that information. So I know that's a lot to take in, but that's how asymmetric encryption works. And it's something that you should really look into. A lot of times I even kind of get um, a little discombobulated when I talk about it, but really it's it's an interesting concept. It's a more secure concept than a password-based authentication. And this is how you're going to get around if you're ever going to do anything with Linux. You're going to SSH into different hosts to make changes. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I hope this helps you out a little bit, and I hope to catch you guys next time. I'll probably do a video on SSL certificates next because I think it kind of goes in line with this asymmetric encryption discussion and gives you an idea of like what this actually means. Like, what is a certificate? How is that generated? And what the heck is it used for? You know, it's used for security, but like, how does that back end process work? Well, I know how that back end process works, and I know how um, domain naming services and DNS work. So I hope to talk about that as well. All right, guys, take care. Until next time.